Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives For You channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. In a moment that will go down as one of the most jaw-dropping, emotional, and unforgettable events in Sister Wives history, Meri Brown, once considered the quiet, loyal, and often overlooked first wife of Kody Brown, shattered that image in an electrifying live television appearance that rocked not only the Brown family, but stunned a nation of viewers who had long speculated about Robyn Brown's influence and control behind the scenes. Sitting under the hot studio lights, Meri appeared for what viewers believed would be a reflective, gentle discussion about moving on and life after plural marriage. But what began as a soft-spoken conversation quickly turned into a raw, emotional tell-all as Meri, poised, direct, and visibly done with hiding the truth, laid bare a web of lies that Robyn had allegedly spun for years, pulling the strings behind the scenes and manipulating not only Kody, but the narrative of an entire family for the cameras and beyond. With her voice steady but her eyes burning with long-buried pain, Meri leaned into the microphone and delivered the first blow. I was loyal. I stayed silent. I took the fall for things that weren't mine. But I'm done now, and I won't let Robyn play the victim any longer. She needs to answer for what she's done to all of us. The audience gasped. The host, clearly unprepared for the storm Meri was unleashing, hesitated before asking, "Are you saying Robyn lied?" Meri didn't flinch. She lied about everything. From the moment she joined this family, she had a plan, and it wasn't unity. It was control. The cameras zoomed in, capturing every flicker of emotion on Meri's face as she recounted a timeline of manipulation that, according to her, began the moment Robyn arrived. She made it seem like she was the peacemaker. But behind closed doors, she was whispering things to Kody, turning him against us, telling him Christine was disrespectful, that Janelle was too independent, that I was emotionally unstable. She isolated him from us on purpose, and he let her. Meri's voice cracked with restrained rage. I lost my marriage before I even knew it, because Robyn needed to be the only one standing. Then came the bombshell no one saw coming: emails, text messages, voice memos. Meri pulled out printed screenshots, carefully redacted for privacy, but enough to show proof. In one, Robyn allegedly complained to a producer about Christine poisoning the family image and encouraged editing her segments to appear cold and combative. Another exchange showed Robyn begging Kody to cut off family trips unless she was included, and when she wasn't, she allegedly claimed the other wives were alienating her. She played victim so well, Meri said, that even we believed it for a while. But the truth is, she was the orchestrator. And just when it seemed the segment had reached its emotional peak, Kody Brown, previously unconfirmed to be in attendance, walked onto the stage. Disheveled, red-eyed, and clearly shaken, he approached Meri not with anger, but with confusion. "Why are you doing this now?" he asked, barely holding himself together. "Because you never listened when I tried to tell you before," Meri replied, tears now rolling down her cheeks. "You were so blinded by her tears that you couldn't see how she was pulling you away from the rest of your family. We all lost you, Kody. You didn't just choose Robyn. You let her replace us." The silence in the studio was deafening. Kody sat down, head in his hands, and for the first time in over a decade of public life, the patriarch of the Brown family broke down on live television. "I thought I was doing the right thing," he sobbed. "I thought I was protecting the family. I didn't see it." But Meri wasn't done. Her pain had turned to purpose. "You didn't want to see it, Kody, because seeing it would mean admitting that you failed us, that you let one woman dismantle everything we built." The fallout was immediate. Within minutes, social media exploded. Hashtag Meri Speaks, hashtag Robyn Exposed, and hashtag Kody Breaks Down were trending across every platform. Fans flooded forums, shocked by Meri's courage, applauding her bravery, and demanding accountability. In the days that followed, Meri's revelations were dissected, analyzed, and validated by longtime viewers who had noticed the cracks all along. Robyn's tearful monologues, her subtle digs, her sudden rise in status as the legal wife, while the others faded into the background. Christine and Janelle, who had already made their exits from the family, each posted subtle but supportive messages on Instagram. Christine shared a sunflower with the caption, "Truth always finds the light." Janelle reposted a quote, "When one woman stands in her truth, it gives others permission to do the same." Robyn, for her part, remained silent. TLC declined to comment officially, but insiders confirmed that executive producers were in emergency meetings discussing how to pivot the upcoming season, now that the entire foundation had been shaken. In the following week, Meri appeared on multiple morning shows, podcasts, and national news segments, not for fame, but for closure. "I stayed too quiet for too long," she told one host. "But I know now that my silence was protecting people who didn't deserve it." The support she received was overwhelming. Messages poured in from women across the country, thanking her for being a voice for those who've experienced manipulation, gaslighting, and being erased from their own lives. But the most emotional moment came during her final interview of the week, where she read a letter written by Leon, her child, who had once stepped back from the family's public eye. "Mom," the letter read, "I'm proud of you. This is the woman I always knew you were.
Strong, brave,
unafraid to speak the truth." Meri broke down crying, and so did half the audience. And as for Kody, the man who once demanded loyalty and submission from his wives was now left to face the reality that those very women were never his to control. They were only ever asking to be respected, heard, and loved equally. In a final heartbreaking admission, he recorded a confessional for TLC's website, saying, "I thought I was the leader of a family, but maybe I was just the obstacle." Meanwhile, Meri? She walked into the next chapter of her life like a phoenix, rising, radiant, and no longer bound by the lies of others. Whether she pens a memoir, leads a speaking tour, or simply lives peacefully on her own terms, one thing is crystal clear. Meri Brown has reclaimed her voice, and in doing so, she just changed everything. The fallout from Meri Brown's bombshell live TV appearance didn't just send shockwaves through the Sister Wives fandom, it ignited a media firestorm unlike anything the Brown family has ever experienced. As the nation collectively gasped, Twitter exploded, TikTok lit up with reaction videos, and even major outlets scrambled to analyze every word Meri delivered as she bravely exposed what she called Robyn's house of manipulation. And while many expected Robyn to retreat into silence, it was Kody's collapse, both emotionally and publicly, that left viewers stunned. For years, fans watched Meri stay silent, playing peacemaker or being pushed to the side.
But now,
she wasn't holding back. Not anymore. Meri's shocking moment began with a simple statement, "I stayed quiet for over a decade. But today, I'm speaking not just for myself, but for every woman who's been made to feel invisible." The live TV interview quickly spiraled into what can only be described as a verbal dismantling of Robyn's narrative, one Meri claimed was built on half-truths, gaslighting, and a carefully curated image of victimhood. With a steely gaze, Meri outlined how Robyn would isolate herself from the other wives, then manipulate Kody behind closed doors, planting doubts, stirring drama, and painting herself as the only loyal wife. She weaponized loyalty, Meri said. Not as a virtue, but as a control tactic. But Meri didn't stop there. In what many are calling the most explosive moment of the interview, Meri revealed that Robyn had secretly recorded conversations with the other wives and allegedly used the recordings to prove disloyalty to Kody. The audience audibly gasped as Meri detailed how Robyn weaponized these recordings during private talks with Kody, driving wedges between him and the other women. She created a fortress, Meri explained, her voice cracking with emotion. And Kody? He lived inside it like it was a palace of truth. But it was all built on sand. Backstage footage later revealed that Kody, who had been watching the live feed from a separate location for a possible joint segment, broke down completely. Cameras captured him sobbing uncontrollably, visibly shaken by the betrayal, not from Meri, but from the realization that perhaps he'd been manipulated all along. "I thought I was protecting my family," Kody said through tears. But maybe I was just protecting a lie. As the broadcast went viral, support for Meri poured in. Celebrities, relationship experts, and even therapists took to social media to praise her courage. Hashtags like #MeriSpeaksTruth, #JusticeForTheWives, and #RobynExposed trended worldwide. Fans who once viewed Meri as passive and resigned now saw her in a whole new light, empowered, fearless, and done with being silenced. Meanwhile, Robyn has remained conspicuously quiet. TLC insiders claim she's devastated and furious that Meri would go public, but others say Robyn has already begun filming her own tell-all-style response. Robyn never thought Meri would speak, one insider said. Now she's scrambling. And the implications are far-reaching. With Meri's revelations now public, questions are swirling around the integrity of Robyn and Kody's relationship, the true reason behind the family's collapse, and how much TLC may have edited or concealed to protect certain storylines. Many are now calling for a full documentary exposé, with Meri at the center. In the days that followed, Meri shared a cryptic Instagram post with just 3 words: "No more silence." Accompanying the post was a photo of her smiling beside an unnamed female friend, possibly hinting at a new support system, or even more revelations to come. What's clear is this: the age of quiet Meri is over. And in her place stands a woman ready to reclaim her voice, expose the deception, and finally stand on her own, not as a sister wife, but as Meri Brown, truth-teller and survivor of emotional manipulation. As for Kody, insiders say he's retreated and is currently staying alone in Flagstaff. He's not taking calls.
He's not filming, a source said. He's broken.
He doesn't know who to trust anymore, and for the first time in a long time, he's completely alone. And Robyn? According to multiple sources, she's preparing a response video. Whether it will clear her name or backfire spectacularly remains to be seen. But one thing is certain: Meri's live confession has changed sister wives forever, and the nation is still reeling from every truth bomb she dropped. In what is already being hailed as the most explosive moment in the entire Sister Wives franchise, and perhaps in reality TV history, Meri Brown shattered years of silence, walked away from her carefully curated image of loyalty and quiet heartbreak, and unleashed a scorched earth confession on live television that left viewers stunned, the Brown family reeling, and Robyn's carefully constructed house of cards collapsing in real time. Appearing on a nationally broadcast daytime talk show under the guise of promoting her new business venture, Meri had reportedly agreed to a safe, respectful interview. But what unfolded was nothing short of seismic. Just minutes into the segment, the host casually asked about family dynamics, expecting perhaps a tame answer about healing and moving on. Instead, Meri stared dead into the camera and said, "I kept my mouth shut for over a decade. I let her paint me as jealous, bitter, difficult. But I'm done protecting people who manipulated every one of us and destroyed a family for their own gain." The audience fell into stunned silence. The host blinked. And then it began. Meri named names. She named Robyn. She recounted incident after incident, each one more jaw-dropping than the last, starting with how Robyn orchestrated her initial entrance into the Brown family with a playbook of calculated charm and veiled strategy. "Robyn played the long game," Meri declared. "From the moment she arrived, she told each of us what we wanted to hear, then ran back to Kody and told him what he needed to believe. Divide and conquer. And it worked." She detailed how Robyn slowly inserted herself as the victim in every dynamic, painting Christine as mean, Janelle as dismissive, and Meri as desperate, all while steadily isolating Kody emotionally until he was reliant on her for every decision. She studied him, Meri said. She learned how to be his perfect puppet, so he'd stop listening to the rest of us. Then came the receipts, texts, emails, voicemails. Yes, Meri had come prepared. In a moment that sent social media into meltdown mode, she pulled out a folder of printed communications between Robyn and herself, many of which were shockingly cruel. One message allegedly read, "Meri, if you really loved the family, you'd stay quiet. You're embarrassing Kody." Another exposed Robyn pressuring Meri not to speak publicly after the infamous catfishing scandal, not out of support, but to avoid drawing negative attention to Kody's leadership. Even more damning were alleged screenshots of Robyn advising Meri to let go of her legal marriage to Kody for the greater good, which Meri now claims was a manipulation tactic designed to cement Robyn's own legal position in the family.
She didn't ask.
She pushed. Over and over, Meri stated. And when I hesitated, she played the martyr. Tears, trembling voice, the whole thing. I fell for it. We all did. Kody Brown, watching backstage and reportedly unaware of how far Meri planned to go, was seen pacing, sweating, and finally collapsing into a chair when the live feed cut to a shot of his reaction. Producers later confirmed he suffered a panic episode and refused to come on stage. He kept saying, "She promised me. She said she wouldn't do this on TV," one staffer revealed. But Meri didn't flinch. With a rare fire in her voice, she declared, "I gave him 30 years. 30 years of loyalty. And all he gave me was silence while Robyn tore me down from the inside out. Now, he can listen. Like the rest of the country." But Meri wasn't finished. She turned her sights on the narrative TLC had fed fans for over a decade, the one where Robyn was just trying to bring the family together. That was the line, Meri scoffed. That Robyn just wanted peace. That she loved all of us equally. That's not what happened. What happened was a hostile takeover. She claimed Robyn convinced Kody to centralize finances, close off holidays, and even cancel previously planned visits with the older kids, all under the pretense of protecting the family, when in reality, she was tightening her grip.
She turned Kody against his own children.
Not just mine. Janelle's. Christine's. All of them. She would call their independence disrespect. She'd say, "They're disloyal to you, Kody." And he believed her. He still does. The backlash was immediate. Twitter, Instagram, and Reddit exploded with hashtags like #TeamMeri, #RobynExposed, and #FreeTheBrowns. Fans dug up old clips of Robyn crying in confessionals, now watching them with a different lens. "She was always acting," one commenter wrote. "She had the whole country fooled." Others called for TLC to film a spin-off with just Meri, Christine, and Janelle, free from Kody's dysfunction and Robyn's manipulation. Even estranged Brown children started speaking out. Paydon tweeted a cryptic, "Told you so," while Michael T posted a video of herself nodding solemnly while sipping tea. And still, Robyn stayed silent. Her rep issued a brief statement claiming Meri's words were deeply hurtful and misrepresent years of love and sacrifice. But viewers weren't buying it. Neither were several cast members. A source close to Janelle confirmed she reached out to Meri moments after the show aired, simply saying, "Thank you. It's time." As for Kody, rumors are swirling that the live meltdown has left him questioning his entire reality. Some sources say he feels betrayed by Robyn for not preparing him. Others claim he's isolated and furious, lashing out at producers for allowing the segment to go live. But whatever his reaction, one thing is clear. Meri just rewrote the narrative. She went from the discarded first wife to the woman who pulled the curtain back on Sister Wives' biggest lie. And fans are here for it. The Brown Empire has officially imploded, and Meri lit the fuse.